Hello, my name's Ray, and let's get into the things that we'll be talking about in this episode. So, right now, we'll have a look at our total net worth. We'll run over the current virus, have a look at the markets, how they're going, and have a look at some of the uh, or this most interesting news article that has arose. So if we have a look at the total net worth, currently sitting at $90.2 thousand. That's currently up on last month. March was not a particularly good month for the market or anywhere in the world, but coming into April, things seem to be improving. The share market, or the shares section, is currently dropping, but I'll explain that in a moment. But it is sitting at $50,000, which is fine. Super is increasing on last month as well, which is good to see. Spaceship is almost $1,000 for the first time, and debt is currently recovering away from that minus 4,000 mark. If we take a look at the breakdown, we can see $90,000, which puts us back to just before the start of December last year, which isn't that far away. That's only 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months that I've lost progress on, which is not that bad considering how far the market has dropped and has not recovered yet. So this is good news. Debt is pushing away from $4,000, minus $4,000, and having this cash balance slowly increasing as work continues, money still keeps flowing in, and at the moment there's currently a surplus of cash, as currently not spending as much as all my expenses are gone, which is a good thing. But trending away from $4,000 is a good sign. The most notable thing would be the CDIA of $8.8 thousand. So that's expected to hit the account on Tuesday, so in 2 days, and that is due to myself selling a company. One of the companies which I initially used to swing trade, but then decided to hold on to it a little bit longer, but now, due to current pricing, have decided to sell this stock, mainly due to that its average price has been sitting below my purchase price for a while, but it does tick up to the purchase price every so often. So after noticing a trend where it does spike up to that point and then drops and fades away, the next time that I noted it to happen, then I would sell out, because there was no reason to hold all of that money up when there is a likeliness that it would fall away again and I can get it for cheaper and buy other companies, or buy other companies just in general due to the current discounts. So at the moment, cash will eventually be over $10,000, and just going to hold on to that. My plan would be to hold on to this through to at least August. When the next reporting season comes in, we'll find out how companies are doing, and make a decision at that point in time. But cash sitting at $10,000, perfectly fine. If we have a look at super, at the moment super's sitting around about the same levels, but sitting at 32. I don't think I've updated this page. That's fine. Sitting at 32.3, and finishing off the month of April, or the month of March. At the 1st of April, we can see the performance, how it has gone. Overall, super has dropped 9.16%. And if we have a look at each of the different sections of super, we can see that the capital stable has done better than balanced growth and accelerated growth by a good margin, actually. So basically, capital stable is doing its job. It's preserving its capital and holding it through these downturns. Balanced growth and accelerated growth are exposure to equities and leveraged positions makes those accounts drop a lot faster. But currently, 12 days in, we can see the reversal happening with accelerated growth sitting at 4.2. With accelerated growth sitting at 2.76%, growth sitting at 1.87%, and those two are doing better than the 1.72% that the average has gained from this. But at the moment, I've currently got a lot of money held in capital preservation, and my plan for this eventually would be to slowly move from capital preservation into more equity style until a point where capital preservation would be required again as markets rise / fall every so often. But I'm not going to do that just yet. As I mentioned before, I'm going to wait till the reporting season before I start making any decisions and continue with that. Because right now the market is doing some oddly weird things, and if we have a look at, firstly, the Dow Jones, the American, say, top 30 companies, since the market low on the 23rd, the market has gone up 27%. 27% since the market low. If we have a look at 1-year charts, we can see that the market dropped 36%, but we're only down to minus 19. This period of growth was 27%, which, if you bring it back to last year, how long did it take for us to gain 28%, 29%? That's not even, wow. If you can do this correctly. So it took almost 14 months for it to rise that same amount, and it has done it in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, which is really, really, really weird really weird. If we have a look at the ASX 200 back in Australia, we have not hit 20% just yet. We're just shy. But to this market low, dropped 36, and overall since the peak, dropped 24%. But our 18% is basically a year, and we did that in 3 weeks. So weird things going on. Is that the end of the drop? Have we started a new bull run? Because if we have a look at a definition, trying to find out what is the signal for starting a bull run. So the most common definition of a bull market is when stock prices rise by 20%, usually after a drop of 20% and before a second. So bear market happens officially when the market drops 20%, which has happened here. And then the next bull market starts when stock prices rise by 20%, which for the US has already happened, which is really, really, really quick, in 1.5 months. But there is still so much negative news going on that could this possibly be, is this actually true? The markets are going up. The markets are going up heaps. But there is still so much negative news. If we have a look at the current cases for the virus, we're almost at 1.8 million. And it didn't seem that long ago that we were at, say, 300, 200,000. Cases do seem to be leveling off slightly for the amount that 1.7 million is supposed to expand by. US, over 500,000 now. Basically 1/3. US has the highest amount of deaths in the world. And a lot of other countries still above 100,000. In the UK, the PM going into what is it? Critical condition, into intensive care. And it hasn't stopped yet, but we've got Australia, which is at 6.3. We've got 3.2k recovered, and we've got less than 3,000 active. We have more people recovered than those that were infected. No, sorry, than those currently infected. It seems that Australia's curve is flattening, which is good. We were having more rises on the 21st to 22nd when we have 1,000. More rises when we have 1,000 and less than we have 6,000. So we can see that Australia is dropping off, which is a good sign, but currently need this to get to 0. 0 is the goal. Eventually, that should happen. So it seems like Australia is on the other side of the curve, if that makes sense. We're on the other side of this bulk here. Will there be another one? Not sure. But this is still causing a lot of uncertainty as in Australia, when the virus starts to become in the past, in the back of our minds, there are still things going on. We've got one of these news articles from ABC News. More than 600,000 Australians apply for early release of super under the coronavirus assistance scheme. So what this is between now and the end of financial year, people can withdraw $10,000, and then after, for 3 months, you can also withdraw another $10,000 from your super, which, if you could do absolutely anything else in the world for money, this would be one of the last things. So if we have a look at how my super's going, I'm at 32k, and I'm currently 20. How old am I? 28 now? 27. Currently 27. So 27, I've been working for the same job for about 9 years, and majority of it has become like full-time or more than full-time, so getting that overtime as well. So if I had to withdraw $10,000 after working that long, or even $20,000, I'd be at a third of what I have now. 1/3 of my retirement. One third of my retirement. If we go into the say compound interest calculator, and we'll just choose, say, anyone, and we'll go, if we have $12,000, it's about $500 a month, and compound monthly, so 27 to 65 would be about 38 years. 38 years. And if we did that, we would have around about $750,000 by the time we're 65. But if we have that $32,000, same everything, because why not? We're at 892. So 892 versus, what was it? 892 and 750. So that's almost $140,000 lost. Lost on retirement based on a decision that you made earlier on in your life. So basically set behind a ridiculous amount, and this doesn't make sense to me. I do understand that having say food on the table, people have been let go, there's so many things going on, but not being able to put food on the table, so they have to withdraw $10,000 out of super and basically ruin your retirement. It doesn't make sense, yet you would still jump in your car, fill it up with petrol, go for a drive or something, pay your phone bill off, pay off your internet, things like that, and still question why you don't have food on the table. These are the decisions which you've made, and these negative times, they happen so often. They happen, the last one was 2008, 2009, in a global scheme. So 12 years ago, and the one before that, 2000, and then like 1993, 1992 was Australia's last recession. So overseas and in Australia itself, these hard times, they do happen, and if you don't prepare for it or go on like nothing's wrong, and then you get to this problem where everybody needs help, and if somebody doesn't get help, then they seem left out. But those people who prepared get nothing. That's fine. But that's for a different story. Just basically, if this $30,000 was like 9 years of my working life, then withdrawing $10,000 just cost 6 years working set me back 6 years basically, and then you have to work another 6 years instead of to 65 to 71 to get the same amount of money back or something like that. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, just with super, there is a lot of people having hard times right now. Rental landlords and people who are renting, rental tenants having the argument onto who should trying to find the words, who should not pay tenants who have no money. Should they withdraw from their super to pay, or would the landlords be willingness to reduce rent and keep these people paying on reduced rent, or just kick them out for not paying rent? We don't know. But these are the reasons why I'm waiting till August. Waiting till August until things clear up before making a decision. Because the virus might be slowly passing, but there's still heaps of uncertainties about companies, about the housing market, people in general, unemployment. Is that going to snap back into normal? When will people start working 40 hours a week again at their job? We don't know. So that's why I'm going to wait. And yeah, hopefully we'll just continue working during this time and start pushing ourselves towards the $100,000 mark again. But having a crisis out of the way, that's a good thing. So eventually we should see ourselves pushing up to 100, 110 and further. Hopefully not too long. Alright, so I'm gonna hold that there. Thank you for tuning in. Do apologize about missing the previous episode, but the recording back then did not turn out as well, so decided to not release that episode and just basically make the next one. But everything should fall back into regular routine next week. So until then, thanks a lot.